Hey guys, we're back again. I'm still trying to get through this set of jewelry. So, it's like the most I've ever brought you guys along for stuff. Usually I disappear, do some stuff, and come back, but figured why not let you guys just follow through with this whole set. So, sanding. This is why I like to work on tiles and adhere my pieces down nice and solidly because it makes it at least sanding the top half of them go super easy because they're hopefully properly adhered and will stay put. So I start with an 80 grit. I think it says it on there. No, it doesn't, but yeah, it's an 80 grit sanding sponge thing. I just buy a big box off of Amazon. And it's just to get all the roughest amount sanded down. So it has a lot of texture to it. So I just want to make sure I've got a nice smooth sand. Sometimes I do this very minimal pressure. Sometimes I do it kind of heavy pressure because I'm really trying to get in there and just get a good clean finish. I don't believe I'm going to resin these. I think I'm going to leave these just sanded and buffed. And it's been typically my most favorite way to do things. It's a nice little light sand over. Make sure if I have any sharp edges in there or sanding lines in there from teeth, soften them up. And same here, just a little light, little buff. Okay. And then with that guy, and my little cribbage can, dust off all sanding residue into the garbage can. Oops. Things up. Adjusted on my microphone. All right. Hopefully that's still in a good spot. Okay, so the next are these great little sanding blocks, also from Amazon, and they're sold for manicurists for nails. And I can't remember, but it's like a 100 grit up to like a 240 or something. I've got two different blocks. The bigger one is the coarser, and I mark the edge because it's coarser and finer. And I never remember. I always end up pulling out the packaging, and I don't feel like doing that right now. But it's something like 120, and then I think the finest is like 280 or 300 or something. So start slightly above my 80 grit big block, and then it rotates up. So kind of clean the edges a little with the more coarse grit. Again, the goal is to try to get as much done while it's held down on a piece of tile because that saves my hands a lot. My hands get very crampy as I start sanding without having the tile to save it. Edges. I will have to sand the back, obviously, off of the tile. But for the time being. And I think this set is just going to go in the pile of stuff to finish way later. So I probably won't even sand the backs on this. I just wanted to get the front sanded while they're sitting here. And it's easy. Because it's a cute set, but it's not the set I'm making. But it was too cute to not finish, so. Black line is the coarser side. Mostly by the time we get to this one, it's more of a buff and polish than it's an actual sanding. And somewhere around, I have an actual set of polishing pads, which go up to like the thousands and thousands of grit in stages. But to be honest, it's such a minimal amount shinier. You know what? Maybe we'll do that today for this stuff. That might be worth it for that set. And I will do that while it's still on the tile. So as long as everything stays pressed on the tile, we might grab those and run through that too if I can remember where I've stashed them. Oh, these guys are just going to pop off the tile. Usually just run the blade down the tile, make sure that I get whatever residue and corners got left behind. off. But yeah, so those came out quite pretty. They will definitely need to be backed, and resin might help. My new favorite thing has been doing the um, clear liquid clay for beads. That's what's gotten me this really, 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 really pretty finish on the beads. And I don't know what it is. I like it plenty when it's rounded and it's a small amount, but I tried it recently on the jewelry set. Where did I put those? It should be right. Oh, yeah, they are right here. And as hard as I tried to get it just right, I don't know. I just don't think it's as. I'm going to do something to touch up the top layer. I think I want resin on this. So the resin's a pain to get to work on the beads, where the liquid clay works great on the beads. That I'm just not fond enough of that. So don't plan on doing that. All right, so we're back to this guy can get put away. And here we go. For these guys. I'm gonna get the whole tile sort of a surface just once over, and then I'll work on all those edges. These are going to be a little hard to get to all the edges because they're cut so close together. I like these guys that they're a little bit spongy like, because you can usually kind of shove them into places you might not be able to get otherwise firmer sandpaper to go. Pass it off one more time. This is still just that first grit on the little block. Polishing. Last one. Edge is done. And flip. Nice little buffing. Okie dokie. I really want to get back in all those edges again. I think that's fine. Make sure you're buffeted. All right. Both sides of that. Why there's a blade sitting on my. Oh, I do because I pushed all my blades off, or my pieces off with it. That's why. Alrighty. And next is this block. So, what color are we going to want to back these with? Originally, I was planning on just sticking with that dark purple. I've been thinking about it. Kind of dark. Don't want to use the green. The dress is green. So I don't really want to overkill with that green. I'm going to use resin. It's going to have to wait until the whole thing's all put together because I'm baking them again. Put the backing in. So at that point, it might be solid enough. I don't have to worry about them moving around because that's the other perk to doing them on the tile like this is when you go to resin, you can resin them on the tile and they stay put. Is a pain if you have anything overflow. But all post up. Okay. All right, here we are. Nice amount of color. Very, 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 very pretty. Absolutely love those. Okay, so these were the earrings, and that's the rest of the sets. And I think that one was the one that I wasn't sure if we're going to use. To be honest, those could be an earring pair if I end up using that one. Or I could use that in place of that one. I'll take them all off and see. Okay, so the question is, I thought I had a little bit more metallic in that green. I put the gold in the green. I was hoping to get a little more sheen, but I'm not seeing as much sheen as I was hoping for. So, let me see if I've got my little buffing pieces floating around here somewhere. Oh, me. All right. So this is just a set of buffing pads that I found on, again, Amazon. And I just keep them stacked in order. And I start with one. And it's just kind of a light buff. I don't think they're labeled by what they are. I usually take a kind of a minute with this first guy. And try to make sure I'm getting down around the edges a little bit and such. Again, I'm going to kind of edge these up a touch, I think, or give them space between because I want them to have an edge. I'm almost wondering if I want to do them on the off-white, but I don't know. I actually don't have enough of that made up to do. There's one. Next pass. And just buffy. Hands. Too crazy. Alrighty. Yeah, we're getting there. So yeah, it's already, you can see there's just a bit more sheen, a little bit cleaner and prettier finish. We're only partway through. At this point, I am very grateful for this tile. Because, oh my goodness, to try to hold all these little pieces to do all this work would be a royal pain in the butt. A little cleaner, a little shinier. haven't tried it yet, but I've been curious as to whether or not those would work as actually wet dry. Oh, you know what I didn't do yet? Let me go ahead and throw a link to this on Facebook too, real quick. And share post. Okay. Probably swap profiles and put it on both. Facebook, no, and okay. Alrighty. I've got chat up in case anybody wants to ask questions. I will try to keep an eye on it. Make any comments. Anyone watching, if you want to say where you're from. Always nice to have a little engagement while working. Buffy. At this point, it doesn't feel like there is any bit of grit. They're just soft little plush pads. And it just doesn't need to be too hard, it's just a polishing. Yeah, it's definitely doing more. It's worth the extra effort. Having plastic with plastic now. And that's fun. Okie dokie. These can all get put away in their little baggie. And I can wipe off. Go back over there where you belong. Off my tabletop. And my plastic sticky sticker back down. Not ready. Okay. And then we can release these. Make sure that nothing's actually stuck on there still. The garbage. Alrighty. And that's one of the earrings. That's definitely the centerpiece. I think it goes that way. What do you think? Maybe. All right. Got three of these to choose from. That's the one that's a little funky. I probably won't use it. Backs are still wanting to. They're all shiny still, so they're wanting to catch down. I do need to go ahead and sand those back a little bit too. Come on, release. You getting stuck to my tile. All right. You probably that way, or were you one of the earrings? No, you were one of these. That way. And then these little guys up top. Ah! Ah, it does look like that actually belongs, doesn't it? So, kind of what I'm thinking is I more or less want to. Actually, I've got lines there, so might as well use them. want to make this into kind of a collar rather than necessarily strung beads. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it down on a piece of clay. I don't know, I'm a little torn even on the earring pieces. Yeah, I like that a lot. What else we made is done. All right. So yeah, I like that. So I'm thinking, debating whether I want that to just straight up be a collar. Or if I want to just, because if I string it, it's going to be hard to make sure that it stays laying right. I think I'd rather build it in as a collar. Now then the next question is, because I do want a tiny bit of space between all of these. Do I want to do it white or do I want to do it the dark purple? Not much white, which might do it. More than enough the dark purple. Hmm. Where are those cutters? I am going to have to, I don't want these nearly as big as one size bigger makes it. And what I can do is I can go back and forth. And bring it back like that. Okay. That's one option. Stick more in the middle. Make it easier to shape you out. A bit wider. I think I'm going with the white. I get over the purple too. I'm so torn. So torn. I think this is another moment to bring the dress over. um, Alrighty. I'm thinking if I am wearing, we're gonna want the white. Definitely the white. Okay. Okay, white it is. I think I have enough. And I hope I didn't lose all my pieces. Because they have now run away. All right. Yeah, white it is. Now, then the next question is because I don't have a cutter built for this, I could go do that real quick. If I end up getting super frustrated, I think I will. But I'm wondering if it's not best to just kind of play it from here. Yeah, I think that's what I'll end up doing. All right, so purple out of here. Make sure I've got everything wiped down because I'm playing with white and I want the white to be white. I could back it with purple, but not at the moment. Just gonna work the white and hopefully I have enough of that white to last through this whole project. So I'm gonna do that. Put this all off to the side a bit. That's clean. Make sure my roller's clean in case I end up using it. Needling it away. I'm two. So anybody who has the newer Atlas, this is Ed Street's version. So he put this acrylic back on. I love this thing. You can look him up online, just Ed Street Pasta Machine, Street, like the road. And he does custom colors, and he also custom builds the base on them, which that gives it a lot of stability. And especially when I'm using the motor, it helps to kind of quiet it down a little. And just, I think it works better having that. 'Cause the one I had before was the old style that didn't have the removable blades. The removable blades is why I thought it was worth it to go ahead and buy a new one and have Ed Street do it. Um, but the old one with the motor on it just grinds more. It makes a bit more noise, which having the base plate on it seems to stabilize it a little bit and quiet it back down. I didn't show you what I did there, sorry. Habit of just doing work. I just paper towel and wipe off. So that's how much funky color get hung up in there. And I clean them kind of regularly because it's so easy now. And but if I have a light color that I care to stay a light color, and those don't seem to have an exact spot, they just kind of tuck in there and catch. But yeah, if I have a light color that I want to stay a light color and not be overly blotted out, I usually try to wipe everything down, especially the pasta maker before I get started. And like I said, that's about all of this I have left, so I will have to make up another batch if this isn't enough, but I think it will be enough. I don't want to try to change the whole. Brought it down to a 3. Just to make sure that I've got plenty. Trying to remember. I think that's one size up. Yeah. This one. And 2 in this one, right? What is you? 50. So I should have half sizes. Let's see. Smaller ones. I might actually have them in half sizes, so I won't for this. So this was a 50. I'm gonna have to cut that one out with the 60 and bring it over like I did with the last one, probably. One of you. Did I say I brought this down to a 3? I think I did. And then the 45. Oh no. So this, sorry, this was a. Wait, no, that's a 50. That's what cut this. 45. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. That's why. Okay, there's the 45. That's weird. You're 60. I read it wrong. Okay. So, yeah, we'll have to use the 60 because that was a 50. Yes, okay. So I'll have to use the 60 for two of them. And then hopefully I can cut that down. 1 and 2. Then for the next size down, that's this. And I might have to go like that and still cut it down a notch, but I need two. Oh no! There we go. Avoid that area. Try not to drop things. I've got two of those. I will need two more for the earrings. I think I'm going to wait a minute and just finish this out. All right, so then this is, that's the 45. Wait, who are you? You're the 50. Why did I need two of you? I'm supposed to use the 45 instead of the 50. I don't know though. Sorry, I'm having trouble seeing that. I'll stick my face in. No. We're supposed to get the 45s. Don't need the 50. Put the 50 away. It's 45s for that. And then it should be the 35s for this guy. Yeah, I need two of those. And then I'm going to go ahead and re-roll that out for that other one. Come on, Alia. Alrighty. Come here. And that's plenty to do the other two. I'll have that left. All right, you guys, stop sticking there. I need to sand your backside so you stop grabbing. All right, so the 45 I will need again. Put that away. Wait a second. That's not where you go. You go there. Okay. Let me I think I want 2 tiles of fill. Sure. That was clean. Now I want the biggest one. And this big guy. Actually, it's not bad, to be honest. Snug you in a little. It's actually pretty good. actually have these the wrong size after all. We'll see. Surround you in. Okay, so let's try to actually use this mat under us. First things first. That shaped right because you're probably too wide. Yeah. It's going to be a problem getting those up. That's it. All right. Too many nail marks. I'll have to redo you. Yep. Uh-oh. We pick that up from. Oops. Super. Just a little. Mm. You're pretty close. I wonder if it would help if I went ahead and sanded the backs off of these. That slickness to them. I'm just taking that shiny off the back. I think that'll help it not stick so hard. Okay. Down our needle. I think I'm going to texturize it anyway. All right, so moment of truth. Sanding your back help any? Maybe. Let's sand these all real quick. Alrighty, that's pretty good. Let's get all that shine off the back. All right. So that's what I'm starting with. You guys hadn't seen, there it goes. You catch all that. And basically, clay likes to stick to shiny things, which is why tile surfaces work so well. Sorry to be working off camera. I just don't want to be putting dust all over where I've already got clean. So I'm just working off to the side. Just a quickie once over. Sanding. Amazing how much repetitive work goes into all this stuff. Damn, so I think I've finally figured out why I don't try to sell my pieces. Probably a lot to do with how much time I sink into this. Like, I am nowhere near as much as I've made and as much as I play with. I don't think I could make it actually feasible to make money off of it, you know? It's like, yes, I could definitely assembly line better. And I make a minimal amount of stuff because I am just making it for myself and I don't want to go through bulk amounts of clay, which I already go through a lot of clay as it is. And if these things are just going to be sitting around somewhere, I don't need like 6 matching sets of things sitting around somewhere. So, current habit is to just leave it half done and go on to the next pattern because it's all about the patterns and the colors, apparently. That's the part that intrigues me. But man, if I put this much time into something and had to sell it for like $30 or $50, nope. I mean, granted, this is going to be a pretty elaborate set, but still. And I've done a bunch of things while I'm playing with you guys today. All been just this morning, right? Yeah. And so I've got a bunch of beads set up to be made, but that's going to take another couple hours. And this takes quite a bit of time. All right, so I needed. Oh, no, I think I can make that. I think I can clean that up enough. I'm going to just texturize them, so I'm glad I didn't ball that up. I'm just going to texturize the top once I get that all laid down. I'd like to texturize the back too, but I don't think that's going to happen. Unless I put one more super thin layer on the back, which actually I may do that. Too much height. Yeah, okay. You're pretty good. All right. Yeah, the off-white is definitely the correct color for this. Okay. Oh, hold on. Wait a second. Hold on. Make sure you are centered on something. That line right there. Go. And let's just start you on one. Mostly wanted it kind of like that. A little higher than that one is, and a little more turned in. As turned in. You're more turned in. That looks correct. Whatever that's doing right there looks correct. So let's match up your tips on that square. And match up your bottom on that one. I wonder if I should go ahead and just put these up. No, no, because I was going to texturize this. All right. I do still want to set you guys in here and see if I'm building this out where I like it. So I just wonder if I wouldn't be happier with a poker sticker and trying to hand you this. those back or just press them together? You still need a little shape help. Okay. Next ones. Whoop, too close. Supposed to land there. Edges. Oh, come on. There. Oh, sorry. Working out of camera again. Trying to remember. And then I did move you, didn't I? Let's get you guys centered, centered. And something like that. I don't remember which one we decided. I think here. One pair of the other of those? Or was it you? You here. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Okay. Edges. These ones are a little closer in size, so I don't want to do any pushing in. Okay. All right, so we're down. You guys are inward slightly. You're sitting. Chin that next line up. Oh. Try touching that next line up. So far in, about halfway in. And then a little more. Not just a little bit. Needs to sit down a little bit lower. Just a little low now. There we go. I think that's correct. All right, we're getting there. Nope, lip. Okay. Solid edge out. Okay, lift and go back here. Our spacing. That's coming in too much. I need a little bit more right here. Hold on, hold on. More like, come on. That. That'd be deep enough that I could put a screw eye in there instead. I might have to fiddle with that. Okay, so you are placed right up in the middle of that and down to just below that. This is where like all the drawing and wrapping and stuff I've done over the years, learning how to draw, and it comes in handy. It's a little easier for matching placement on. All right. I think that we are really nice, just like that. Okay. Now, take these off. There. You can do it. Stay in order so you can go over there. Come on. Oh, that way. Yes, sanding the back helped. I want to face you away or face you towards. You're supposed to be faced towards. All right. So, I'm liking that. I'm going to. Where's my picture map? I want to so much that I end up squishing these out way too wide. But maybe let's varnish. Alrighty. Shame is I'd like to put at least that much texture on the back too, but I don't think I'm gonna get to be able to do that. So I might put a very thin layer on the back and texture it once this comes off the tile. And I think I am gonna go ahead and set those in now. Let's see, Sculpey translucent liquid is what I have floating around. Middle, middle, middle. Because it's cured clay onto raw clay. I almost always will add a little bit of liquid clay to make sure that there is a solid bond. Because it definitely helps. And important that those edges all connect together. Okay. thinking something about kind of sure you guys together a little bit. I just want to make sure there's a really good seal there. Should seal pretty good once I press those charms down into here. And actually give them some tension. Should get that edge pretty well connected, but I just want to make sure that there's a good solid connection there. I feel like I'm in Photoshop using their smudge tool, a little blending brush thing that they have. That's good. Now, in here. Wipe the clay off my fingers because these are all buffed out. I don't want that to be too much messy. Alrighty. Next. Nails like to cause some trouble. Okay, okay. Mm. Um, might wind up playing a little bit here. Try to get that edge in some. Not too much though, because that's good. Centered. And last but not least, okay. In a good bit. So it's pushing those edges out just a hair, so it's actually getting those to connect into each other a good little bit better. Nicely done. And then just realized probably the easiest way to do this is the blade. That is definitely how to do that. Oop, until you do that. Dogs hear the squeaking. Hi guys, just Mama's making funny noises. Hi, see. My clean mama in the house is probably pregnant, so she is definitely extra aware of the world. Already bossy. She gets so much bossier when she's got puppies coming. I'll be able to do the inner more ones Yes, I need. Nope, don't poke other things. Coordination. I did actually grab a little bit of salami and cheese. I took that last break to try to just keep the energy and functionality up a bit. Okay. I think next time I build a cutter. That's a ton of work. And it does look like those are nice and pressed together from the back too. So that should all hold up. And I'm almost definitely going to end up putting backing on it because I think I'm going to want that cleanly backed. And like I said, technically I could even do that in purple if I don't feel like mixing up more off-white. But I'll probably end up doing it in the white. Where did there's my texture sponge. Okay, just try to make sure we've got plenty of texture laid in here. Poking and prodding we did. Texture. Just in case anybody wants to know, I do sell these on my website too. You can order a large amount off Amazon as they're shelf liners for produce. You end up with these big old sheets of it, a ton of it. So if you don't want all that much of it, I sell them on my Etsy shop. And they're already cut to 4x6 or 3x4. But I think I'm just going to take the 3x4 off the website and make it just the 4x6 because I don't ever grab the smaller version. So I just have to assume you guys probably won't either. It would be better than that. Cookie sticker. It actually fits. Right? There we go. Yeah, perfect. Stainless steel knitting needles I find on, I think I actually got a bunch from Timu or whatnot. But yeah, it's the same. They sell them in sets, multi-size sets on Amazon or wherever. I think that's like a 2 or 2.5 millimeter, and I have them like up to like 6 millimeter or whatever. It's usually a nice big set. Alrighty, I think that's perfect. Nice polish to them. It's gonna have a nice little matte finish to it because it's all texturized the way it is. It's subtle, but it's just enough. Okay. Stop tinkering. Just do the other earring sets that I need to do. Okay. That was the 45 I left sitting out here. It's smart that way every once in a while. I'm not that smart. Hold on. Smarter than smart. Ah, in your hole. textured. Double textured. Okay. There we go. Now we got some texture. Let's see. See. Next question is, I have to sand the back anyway, so I'm going to leave those. I think we're going to decide to. I do have to make a decision here. No, actually, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick and think about that, and be right back. Oh, okay. Now we need a little bit of our liquid polymer clay to make the stickies want to stick. Still haven't made that decision yet. I'm contemplating it. I haven't decided. Oh, there was a part of me in the back of my mind that was going to leave those free floating, but I don't think so. Okay. Doing this too. Decision has been made. Press. Squishy, squishy. Really quite nice when they're that well fit to the cutter. Okay. We are ready for the oven. Once more look over, looking at the proportions, the balance, making sure nothing looks too odd. Can't change much in shape once we come out of the oven. All right. I think I'm going to call that done. Man, that's pretty. I like it. Okay. In the oven. These guys are also out of the oven. I have to admit, those came out cool. So, like I was saying, perk to doing that on paper rather than on glass is no sanding unless I want to. And then I don't have to deal with getting rid of that shine because the shine can be a pain to get rid of. We'll have to do that on these. I'm going to sand the top probably, so let me leave these down. Okay. So I'm going back to sanding. I should put all my little tools away. And definitely, I didn't turn the oven on. Oh, that would have been really mad. Stick a knife in that thing to pull it up off my my tile and totally ruin the whole thing. Done that, I think, once, and I was really mad at myself. All right, put those cutters back. I'm not cutting anything at the moment, so those can go away too. Alrighty, so that's been sanded. That's just kind of for fun. Get up in there. You can go sit up in the little basket over there. All right, this guy's give you a quick little standing stuff back over. My garbage can back over. Polishy, polishy, polishy. Sandy, sandy, sandy. Know what it is about abstract movement and lines and such. But man, I like it. Absolutely love it. I don't know why. Something about that piece is just pretty. Oh, got some white in the backing. That's hilarious. This actually should be backed also. Mostly just to thicken it up a little bit because it's kind of thin. Okay. It's rough. Actually, I'm going to back it. I don't need to sand it up anymore. I'm definitely going to back that. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I think I will do that one in the dark purple because I don't need it to show up off of the green dress. Okay, tile now. Can you see that funky? Yeah, you guys can see it. There you go. All the clay residue from baking on it. So that's why I usually take a knife to it to clean it off. And still a little on there. Okay. And those. Nice that is. I can do them all almost at once. Fantastic. You know, this I definitely don't want to get too aggressive on the sanding. Oh no, that's what happens when they're not stuck down quite well enough. Sometimes, if they're shiny enough, you can just polish off the back and get them to stick down again. But now, be kind of careful I don't pop that loose. So remember, I didn't burnish all this down real hard, and then I picked up the clay and moved it as I was cutting because I was running into trouble with the with just the cutters being because it was so thick and it was making itself so bulgy. I had to move it around a little bit. I almost like that better with the light color in the creases. So I could glaze them. That could be kind of fun. That's definitely the spare one. Let's get a little bit of a buff going now. Do you know like those four-way sanding nail blocks that you can pick up at the grocery store or whatever for doing your nails? Those work really nice too because they have usually four or so different grits. Those work nice for buffing this stuff up too. Yeah, for some reason I really do like that a lot, having the lighter color in there. Considering, but it probably won't bother. Yeah. Dusty, go away. Right. A little bit of dust wanting to hang up in there. Wow, that's really unusual. I have to actually go rinse those to get that all out of there. I probably could do. Spray them. Oh. Don't want me to get hung up in there. Oh, loose tube. Yeah, so basically I'll have to run through and sand the back sides and around the edges and then poke holes in all of these. I can leave the gloss on the back if I choose to, but I'll probably sand them just to level them out because it's not an even gloss. It's kind of like that one's like more on one side and half on the other. I'm sure I will sand those all off, but I don't need to do that right now, so I will save that project for later. I don't know if I'm trying to finish this up before going out of town or not. Okay, I do know that I want to make some more beads. Where do I want to store today? So I have another basket somewhere. I'm running out of baskets. Another fun Dollar Tree hack. Little baskets work great for storing stuff. Like I think 3 of those for I think it's up to $1.50 now. Used to be $1. I think it's 3 of those for $1.50, or you can get 2 of the bigger ones, and then there's long ones too that are skinny and long that work good for storing all sorts of different things. So yeah, I'm always rating Dollar Tree. Keeps me out of Hobby Lobby. Try really hard not to go in there. Oh, I forgot about you. All right, I'll put that away. I'm probably not going to back that right now. You can go up there with beads and get played with later. Okay, so I have a little stash of clays floating around here. Not put away. I think what's next is, let's see, how long have we been going? We're an hour and a half already. I'm wondering if I should do some beads. Maybe we'll work on the beads real quick. I definitely want to do some of those beads. All right, let's do beads. I need my plasticky thing back down. Eek. Come on, Lego. It likes to stick to itself. This side is way stickier. It's like super shiny. And it wants to stick to itself. Yeah, I need it to stick down there better than it runs around up here, which is, yeah, that side down. Okay. I need 2 tiles. Not sure that I will. It's a little lower. I'm trying to think. Actually, yeah, I think for right now I do want 2 tiles. So, things away. That bead. All right, so I'm almost wondering if I should restart the stream. Nah, I'll keep going. Okay, got a couple of these guys already cut the size. I don't know why I feel like I like that one as big as it is. I don't want to be weird with this one and not make a necklace bead, or not make a big hole bead, but just kind of make like an hourglassy, funky, tall, long bead. I like that. I wonder if we'll be able to pierce it straight through. Trust gravity. Spin, spin, spin is usually a very good way to work through. Yep. You get through. Yay! All right. Now I'm gonna grab some more of these knitting needles. Figure out which ones it is I actually need. I need a handful of these. Ow! Kind of pokey. All right, so I like one of these little super skinny ones. I think that's one of the super skinny ones. I think that's a little bit fatter, which is fine. And then I think it's that one. I think is what I use. Okay. I think I'm gonna build these into big hole beads. I always go back and forth. It depends on what I want to make with them, but this one, I'm leaving this guy just a little dude like this. I think he's interesting. I think he'd be a cute little pendant, kind of like that. And just run a wire through him, and then hang danglies from the bottom and a ring from up top, and string them on a necklace. I think it'd be very cute. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave you on here. I don't know why. I just like you. You definitely go that way. Okay. I'll put him on a piece of cardstock and put him in the oven, just like that. Okay. He's a good boy. Now we've got our little tray here. I don't use the pokey one typically for this. I don't find I need to. All right. So I need a firm knife for this typically. Grab a few of these. And I'm going to just cut them at the point at which there's a good bit of elements and stuff for them for beads. So like that. And this guy up here. So going to be a little on the big side because he's a whole flower. And then you're kind of a whole flower. So you guys are going to be kind of big vocal beads. Smushed you a little just to make it easier to poke a hole in the middle of you. If they get too tall, it gets hard to, as you saw in the last one, it gets hard to kind of find the center and make sure you're going straight down. So just smush you guys a little bit, shorten you up the hair. These I don't think I want very big. I think I want these on the small side. And since we can see our markings right there, we can use those. That's backwards. Maybe a little one. That's okay. You can be little. Right. Those are all just interesting little accent beads. Another line of them. About to a similar thickness. Yeah, that's about right. And I think I'm going to keep all of these, that accent bead size. Or that you be bigger instead of littler. Okay. Whole bunch of little accent beads. That makes me wonder if I am going to actually make them big whole beads or just leave them as little beads. These guys are interesting. Patterning is so fat. It's almost tempting to do what I did with the other one with these. Cut it right there. Or I can cut in half, and then I have half a flower up and half a flower down. These are huge. Let me see. Maybe a little bit. Oops, wow. Yeah, not helping. Making it a little more visually interesting, but not helping enough. Okay, here's a little ball of junk clay. I usually leave that just sitting around, and I can stick some more to it anytime anything comes up. I don't know about those. I'm going to leave those off to the side and think about them a little longer too. This is more of that, but it is very obviously non-patterned. I don't know. I'm leaving those aside. Thinking makes a good accent bead to my accent beads. And again, if we want to go with that kind of shortish. The end ones are a touch bigger, and everything else is pretty short. And this guy is another. That's an awesome piece. So down here, there's pretty obvious. Let's keep that whole flower. And then we get a little bit of an accent flower there. This is definitely, let's try to keep that whole flower. That one's a huge flower. I think even if we just take half the flower, there's enough flower there to make a thing of it. And the next question is, oh, you guys can't quite see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. My beadbox got in the way. I think I want that whole flower like that and then like that, but I might take a little bit off the top of that so it's not so ginormous. So, little trash pile. Those are going to be really pretty beads. So again, that's where I'm just on that point of, do I actually want to make these my big hole beads? Or do I want to make them smaller, rounded, and more stringable? The reason I make the big hole beads the way I make the big hole beads is because I usually use them on my dog show leads. So I have just piles and piles and piles of big hole beads laying around, and when I get in the mood to make a leash that works for a dog or a bead set or whatever, I have beads. Incidentally, that's exactly how this whole clay thing started in the first place. But I could do just old beads like this, where they just fit on a wire or whatever. Mine. Where are my 40 things? Pop those there. Just want to kind of play a minute here. Essentially, what I want is I would like a couple bracelets or so to go with this jewelry set. That's really pretty. Now, I'm thinking I might end up just making bracelets out of all of this. So that would mean I don't need them big hole bead style. And just poke them and turn them into beads. Poke it, a little open up the inner hole a touch, and then roll it around and stick it on a stake. So you can have that next to that. I think that's what we're doing. I think we're making bracelety or necklacey beads out of this. So I'm not going to do the whole big whole bead setup. Yeah, those are great. Okay. So the best way to do that is pinch the edges in a little bit. That's actually one I picked up from Donna Cato. She does that where she'll do like the core and a whole different thing, and then just pinches the edges over, and she's got lots of great information. She's a fantastic one to learn a lot from. Buddy. Shapey, shapey. Ready? Good. Okay. I don't actually want you longer. I don't like you very much, to be honest. You're very green. Might be too green. You're kind of so green, but then that purple streak through it's pretty good. So whatever, I'll let it be. Spooky, spooky, spooky. Make a hole. Back up again. And on this here you go. And that was really good because that's got lots of striping. Don't close it all the way, all the way. It's helpful to have that little spotter to see where the hole goes in and where the hole should come out. Close that side up more, but there's still a little tiny dollop there. Okay. Yep, liking them. Not positive. Not positive I love the shape on that. I'm going to take that off and retool it. I'm not going to call it ready to bake because remember I put it on there just to kind of see an idea and decide if I was going to keep it that way or if I was going to turn it into a big hole. And I think I'm keeping it this way. I'm thinking it needs a little more help with its shape. So I don't think I overly want to keep it that fat. A little bit along. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Where is my glass tile? Did I put you away? Put you in the oven. Okay, I have more. Place it there. Just a little even roll. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Get back on this here. Make sure you're nice and straight. And back to the baking sphere. All right, let's see. Assuming these will look great next to it too. I was wondering if I should try to make these a little different size. I think they will be a little different size because it looks like, oh yeah, they are not as big. Until that just sitting on the table and keep going. I think I might have two separate logs of these. Yeah, versus the swirled ones. The swirled ones were fatter when I cut them in, so they'll be a different size. Which is as I like it. There we go. We'll definitely need a few of these little skewers. It's pulling too much. So I'm going to reshape it a little. Yeah, I like that. So if you guys can see what we got sitting around. So that's what those scrappy beads come out looking like. And that's the swirled up scraps. That one I'm still not overly fond of. I can probably roll this extra stuff back up into more scrap beads. But I really think these are going to be cool. So let me do the rest of these. And then I'll probably let you guys go while I finish it up because this turns into a tedious little project. I don't think I have enough words in my brain to chatter at you guys for another hour while I do this. So, all right. Pre-cooked you. I need to squeeze you still. This is definitely one that could get away with being cut in half, but I think I like it as it is. Oh, actually, so doing it with the skewer in there will make the hole bigger, likely, but it didn't overkill. So yeah, that's still fine. Those are big. They're pretty though. Yep. I'm almost wondering if I should make some little tiny purple ones to be small spacers. smaller than this one. So this one would be one that you could cut in half, which is the effect of this. This would have been too big if I left it all the way. These are all quite big. Actually, I'm going to stab it before I pull the corners in because they're just so big. Get that lined up right. Randy. Let's see if we can find that hole again. Yep. And then you add a little bit. Very cute. Yeah. I think that's all styles, right? Because everything's kind of the same style, other than the bulky ones. But I don't even know if I'm going to do those. I want it to poke this first. Roddy. Mm. Don't knock things around. Stay put. Okay. I think I'm going to sign off for a bit and just sit here and tinker with some beads without having to try to keep them in the middle of the camera. Because that gets tedious. Yeah, it's been a while. Alrighty, guys. I will see you on the next one. I'll probably come back in a little while and we'll finish up the necklace and string a bracelet maybe or something. We'll see.